Imagine this, it's January 3, 2026, and Elon Musk stands atop a gleaming red dune on Mars, the thin atmosphere whispering secrets of the universe around him. His companies, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, XAI, and more, have just crossed a combined valuation of $726 billion, making him the architect of humanity's multiplanetary future. But as the Earth rises on the horizon like a blue marble, Elon's mind drifts back to a night in 2018, when he lay curled up on the cold, oil-stained floor of the Tesla factory in Fremont, California, tears streaming down his face, convinced it was all over. How did a man who slept on factory floors, endured betrayal, heartbreak, and near total ruin become unstoppable? Stick around, because in the next 30 seconds, I'll reveal the darkest failure that nearly destroyed him, but instead, forged him into a legend. But first, what if I told you that on that fateful night, a single phone call changed everything, or did it? Elon Musk wasn't born into wealth or privilege. Picture a young boy in Pretoria, South Africa, in the 1970s, skinny, awkward, with a mop of curly hair and eyes that seemed to stare into infinity. Elon was the kid who devoured books on rockets and computers while his classmates played rugby. But life wasn't kind. His parents divorced when he was 9, and he chose to live with his father, Errol, a man whose temper could shatter the silence like thunder. Elon recalls nights hiding under his bed, listening to arguments that echoed through the house. School was worse. Bullied relentlessly for being different, he once ended up in the hospital after a gang of boys threw him down a flight of stairs. "I was almost beaten to death," he'd later say, his voice steady but his eyes betraying the scar. Yet, in that pain, a fire ignited. Elon dreamed of escaping, not just South Africa, but Earth itself. At 17, he boarded a plane to Canada with $2,000 sewn into his socks, leaving behind a fractured family and a country in turmoil. Little did he know, the real battles were just beginning. Arriving in North America, Elon hustled. He worked on farms, cleaned boilers in lumber mills, jobs that left his hands blistered and his back aching. But his mind never stopped. He enrolled at Queen's University, then transferred to the University of Pennsylvania, where he double-majored in physics and economics. There, he met friends who saw his quirks not as flaws, but as genius. One roommate, Adio Ressi, would later describe Elon as intense, like a laser beam. They partied, but Elon was always tinkering, building homemade explosives in their dorm or debating the future of energy. Graduation came, and while others chased Wall Street, Elon headed to Stanford for a PhD in physics. But 2 days in, he dropped out. Why? The internet was exploding, and he saw opportunity. In 1995, with his brother Kimball, he founded Zip2, a digital city guide. They worked from a dingy apartment, coding day and night, surviving on oranges and cheap pasta. Kimball remembers Elon sleeping on a futon stained with coffee, his laptop humming like a heartbeat. Success came. Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million in 1999. Elon, at 28, pocketed $22 million. But money wasn't the goal, it was fuel for bigger dreams. Flush with cash, Elon dove into online banking with X.com, which merged into PayPal. The boardroom battles were fierce, clashes with co-founders over vision, late-night arguments that left egos bruised. In 2000, while on honeymoon with his first wife, Justine, Elon was ousted as CEO in a coup. "It felt like a knife in the back," Justine would later write in her memoir, her words laced with the pain of watching her husband shatter. But Elon didn't crumble. PayPal sold to eBay for $1.5 billion in 2002, netting him $180 million. Now a father, Justine had given birth to twins after the tragic loss of their first son, Nevada, who died at 10 weeks from SIDS. Elon channeled grief into ambition. Nevada's death haunted him. Justine described nights where Elon stared at the ceiling, whispering, "Why him?" It was a wound that never fully healed, pushing Elon to question mortality and humanity's fragility. With his fortune, he founded SpaceX in 2002, aiming to make space travel affordable. If we don't become multiplanetary, he'd say, humanity is doomed. But the road to the stars was paved with explosions. SpaceX's early days were chaotic. Elon poured $100 million into it, hiring a ragtag team of engineers in a warehouse in El Segundo. His lead engineer, Tom Mueller, became a confidant, a burly Midwesterner who shared Elon's obsession with rockets. They built Falcon 1, but the first launch in 2006 was a disaster. The rocket spun out of control and crashed into the Pacific. Elon stood on Kwajalein Atoll, watching flames light up the night sky, his face ashen. "We failed," he told the team, but his voice cracked with determination. Failure 2 in 2007, another explosion. By the third in 2008, investors were fleeing, and Elon's marriage to Justine was crumbling. Divorce papers arrived amid the debris. Then came the global financial crisis. Tesla, which Elon had invested in and chaired since 2004, was bleeding cash. Production delays on the Roadster left the company weeks from bankruptcy. SpaceX had one launch left. If it failed, both companies died. Elon confided in his mother, May, a model and dietitian who'd raised him with tough love, "Mom, I might lose everything." May, with her silver hair and unyielding optimism, hugged him and said, "Then you'll start again." But as the countdown began for Falcon 1's fourth attempt, Elon paced the control room, heart pounding. The rocket lifted off, and then, silence. What happened next would either break him or make him unbreakable. Hold on, because this is where the darkest failure hits. The rocket reached orbit. Cheers erupted, but Elon didn't celebrate. He collapsed into a chair, tears flowing. "We did it," he whispered to Mueller, who clapped him on the back, his own eyes misty. That success saved SpaceX. NASA awarded them a $1.6 billion contract days later. But Tesla was still teetering. Elon invested his last $40 million, begging friends for loans. He divorced Justine, a process that left him emotionally raw. She later spoke of the pain, saying, "He was my best friend, but ambition consumed him." In 2008, he met Tallulah Riley, a British actress whose warmth thawed his isolation. They married in 2010, but the union was stormy, divorces and remarriages marked by passion and conflict. Tallulah described Elon as a storm you can't escape, yet she stood by him during Tesla's production hell in 2018. That's when things got truly dark. Model 3 production was a nightmare. Robots malfunctioned, tents were erected in parking lots to assemble cars. Elon moved into the factory, sleeping on the floor under his desk, surviving on Red Bull and ambition. His tweets became erratic, accusations of sabotage, a infamous, funding secured post that led to SEC lawsuits. Friends worried, his brother Kimball pulled him aside, "Elon, you're killing yourself." Weight loss, insomnia, Elon admitted to 120-hour workweeks. Then, the breaking point. A whistleblower exposed safety issues, stocks plummeted, and Elon faced a boardroom revolt. Alone on that factory floor one night, he contemplated quitting. "Is this worth it?" he sobbed into the darkness. But a call came, from an engineer named Franz von Holthausen, Tesla's design chief and a father figure in the chaos. "Boss, we've fixed the line. Come see." Elon wiped his eyes and walked over. Cars rolled off smoothly for the first time. It was a turning point, but bigger storms loomed. What if I told you that in 2020, a global pandemic threatened to erase it all, and revealed Elon's most controversial side? COVID-19 hit like a meteor. Factories shut down, supply chains crumbled. Elon defied California lockdowns, reopening Tesla amid backlash. "Free America now," he tweeted, drawing ire from workers and politicians. One employee, Carlos, a line worker who'd emigrated from Mexico, confronted him. "Mr. Musk, my family needs this job, but not at the cost of our lives." Elon listened, mask mandates followed, but tension simmered. SpaceX pressed on, Starship prototypes exploded in fiery tests, each boom a reminder of fragility. Personally, Elon welcomed the son, XAEA-12, with singer Grimes, but their relationship frayed under the spotlight. Grimes, with her ethereal creativity, clashed with Elon's relentless drive. She later said, "He's a genius, but love can't compete with Mars." By 2021, Tesla's valuation soared past $1 trillion, but controversies mounted. Autopilot accidents, union-busting allegations. Elon bought Twitter, renaming it X, in 2022 for $44 billion, a move that alienated allies. "It's a civilizational risk," he said, but firings and policy changes sparked exodus. His children, including Vivian, who transitioned and distanced herself, added to the emotional toll. "I love her," Elon said quietly in interviews, his voice breaking. Yet, amid the chaos, breakthroughs. Neuralink's first human implant in 2024, allowing a paralyzed man, Alex, to control a computer with his thoughts. Alex became a symbol, wheelchair-bound after an accident. He messaged Elon, "You gave me hope." XAI launched Grok, an AI challenging norms. But in 2025, the ultimate test, Starship's manned Mars orbit mission. Delays, a near-catastrophic engine failure during test. Engineers like Gwynne Shotwell, SpaceX's COO and Elon's right hand, worked miracles. Shotwell, a no-nonsense leader with a mother's intuition, pulled Elon through doubts. "We've got this, Elon. For humanity." And now, back to 2026. Elon watches from Mars as Starship docks with the first habitat module. The $726 billion empire isn't just numbers, it's electric cars revolutionizing transport, rockets ferrying dreamers to stars, brain chips healing the broken, AI unlocking truths. Challenges resolved through grit. From Zip2's humble code to Tesla's factory rebirth, each failure a forge. Relatable? Think of Mueller, the engineer who believed when no one did, May, the mom who never wavered, even rivals who pushed him higher. The message? Failure isn't the end, it's the fuel. Elon once said, "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are against you." You've got dreams? Chase them, sleep on floors if needed, rise unstoppable. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of triumph over adversity. What's your biggest failure that made you stronger? Share in the comments. Until next time, keep reaching for the stars.